Welcome to the On Deck podcast for all your baseball DFS needs with your superstar hosts, fantasy baseball experts, Casey, Bubba, and Bogman. On Deck podcast is sponsored by LineStar app, the #1 top-rated data and analytics tool for daily fantasy sports.
And welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the On Deck MLB DFS podcast, brought to you by the wonderful people at LineStar Sports. Make sure you check them out on the good old Twitter at LineStar app and at LineStar MLB. Always tweeting out great content there, including some prizes from time to time. And then download the app in the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. You will not regret it. All the tools you'll need in the palm of your hand to build your winning lineups. So make it happen. LineStar app in your app stores. I am on Twitter at BDendrick. My co-host is always on Twitter at Bogman Sports. Scott Bogman, how are we doing, my friend?
I feel like a bum. My guys haven't hit homers for 2 days in a row. This is a weird feeling.
What's the 2 days you haven't picked Kyle Schwarber? So it makes sense.
Very, very true. I can go right back to that well today. I like that.
I feel pretty bad because after we made our picks, I'm like, I figured you would have picked Paul Goldschmidt, and Goldie went deep. Yeah. So yeah, never fails.
I just wanted Arenado in his return to Colorado.
That made sense. It was a perfect, storybook romance. They gave him the tribute, the video tribute. He probably cried a little, all kinds of fun stuff. I saw a tweet out there that the night before he went to dinner with Trevor Story, and people were joking. The point of the conversation was how to get Story out of Colorado. So that was kind of fun stuff too. So we'll see how that all plays out. But hey, he gets to at least be the starting third baseman in the All-Star game in Colorado. So that's kind of cool.
One more start in Colorado for Nolan. There it is.
Yeah, one more start. We had more weather, like we said, to worry about. There's a rain out in the early slate. The Washington National game started and then ended in the 6th with severe thunderstorm warnings. So that game got cut short. The Reds walked it off on San Diego. So that was fun. The D-backs got the dub over the Giants. That's their 5th win since May 15th. So that was big. Lots and lots going on. Lots and lots of fun stuff. But
the D-backs win is whipped cream on you know what. So give me a break.
Hey, it worked for Johnny Moxon, so it's okay. But we got a 14-game slate for you on a Friday, a monster slate. It could have been 15 if they had moved the start time up an hour, but we don't get the Philadelphia game, which starts at 6:05 Eastern.
That sucks. I kind of wanted Zach Wheeler. But no such luck.
Because pitching's murky again. It's like there's going to be a trend now with guys not striking as many guys out and all kinds of goofiness. But not to mention Jacob deGrom. He's up a 3-run homer in the first. Then he struck out like 8 or 9 in a row, and he ended with just ungodly
14
numbers again. The dude is not fair. He's a cheat code right now. But Burns left hurt. He has trouble striking guys out. It was Framber pitched well, but it's going to be a crapshoot almost every night right now with the way these guys, they're walking a lot more guys because maybe they're not gripping it properly. I don't know, because even Framber is walking guys like he usually does it. It's weird right now. So buckle up, folks. And I will say there's a lot of weather to worry about, but the main ones to circle, Mets, Yankees, about 30% chances there. And Tampa Bay, Toronto, we're going about 50 to 60% chances. So keep an eye on those two. There's scattered showers all over like we've seen the last few nights, but keep an eye on those two. All right, let's kick off this 14-game slate. We get the Los Angeles Dodgers at the Washington Nationals. Julio Urias, Max Scherzer, over-under of 8. Urias 92 on DK, 89 on FanDuel. Scherzer 10-5 and 11,000. Are you going to either of these guys in this monster matchup?
I think Scherzer's always in play. Not his best matchup here against LA, so maybe you don't want him in this start, and that's fine, but he's got to be in play. He's Max Scherzer. Urias is different. Season high 12 strikeouts in his last start, but the start before that was a season high in earned runs in 6. So he's kind of been a little wishy-washy, it seems like, without the sticky stuff. But against Washington, I think he's probably in play. So I think either one of them could be in play today. But as far as batters go, there's a little PVB data against both these guys, mainly against Urias. Zimmerman, 4 for 5 against him with a couple runs, 3 for 5 for Castro, 3 for 7 for Mercer, who went yard the other night. And then against Scherzer, the only one hitting here is Max Muncy, 4 for 11 with a bomb. I think because of Scherzer, I probably don't want Dodgers bats. And then, I did just say it's, any day is a good day for Kyle Schwarber, but that is, it is against Urias here. So maybe not, but Josh Bell is in play. Harrison 2,725 is a nice cheap option in this game. but most bats in this game are expensive, the ones you want anyway.
Yeah, I think Scherzer's definitely in play. Again, as we go through pitching, it's going to be pretty suspect. So you can go to Scherzer if you want. Dodgers are good. So obviously I'm not telling you anything you didn't know already. But you can go there. Before, Corbin gave it the granny to Muncy, he was setting them down. And that's saying a lot because Patrick Corbin stinks. So I don't mind some Max Scherzer if you want to go that route. Other than that, though, I respect Urias enough. I'm not going to use him, but I respect him enough to not really want bats in either game. 14 games on the slate. I'm going to be a little picky, and I'll just pass on the bats in this one. Milwaukee at Pittsburgh. We got a fun one here. Adrian Hauser, JT Brubaker. Somehow the total's only 8, which surprised me a little bit. Hauser's 80th on DK 64 on FanDuel. Brubaker 7,069. Do you like any of these two as a discounted pitching option?
I mean, yeah, I think that Brubaker, 2 quality starts in a row. Last start against Milwaukee, went 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 8 strikeouts, no walks. So I think that's a good one. I'm not really interested in Hauser, although he has been a little better, which is why he's priced up a little bit more than usual on DK. But I think Brubaker's an option, which makes me kind of out on Milwaukee bats. But Brian Reynolds is hot right now. He's 3 for 10 in his career against Hauser with a homer. 4 for 13 for Adam Frazier against him. That's a 308 average. Key Brian Hayes, Eric Gonzalez. If you wanted to go with Willy Adames, I don't think anyone would knock you. Castanheira is also hot, but I think for the most part, I'm going to stick to Brubaker and Reynolds or Frazier.
Yeah, I like Brubaker as a nice SP2 on DK. I'm with you there. I think there is upside to be had on that one. And then I like some, Reynolds Frazier action. As you mentioned, Frazier, the leading vote getter in the National League and at second base starter for the National League, which is great to see. So Adam Frazier checks the boxes there. Brian Reynolds, as always, the price tag has gone up tremendously though. So that's a bit different than we once knew and loved, but I like that combination. You can always mix in Brian Hayes if you want, but the Pirates are a little more expensive than they used to be. They used to be our discounted sweepstakes, but now it's gone up a little bit, but I don't mind a little Pirates action if you want, because I'm just not a believer in Adrian Hauser at all. New York Mets at the New York Yankees. Battle of New York. Like Bane should pop out of this somewhere. Taiwan Walker, Jordan Montgomery, over under of 9 on this one. Taiwan 8,000 on DK, 87 on FanDuel. Jomo 73 and 7,000. It's like I kind of want to use both pitchers. I'm also kind of hesitant to use both pitchers. What's your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think if I had to pick one, it'd probably be Montgomery. I just don't want to pitch Walker against that nasty Yankees lineup, potentially nasty lineup. They have been as great recently, but they're still good. There's a little PVB data against him too. Luke Voigt 2 for 5 with a bomb, 6 for 13 for Ronald Odor with a homer against him, 6 for 21 for LeMahieu with a double. So there's a little PVB data against Walker, but I think I would lean towards Montgomery, but I'm with you. I'm going to stick to bats here on either side. You can also, Alonso, Judge, Gary Sanchez, Stanton, Andy War's cheap, 32 and 23 if he's in the lineup. So mainly bats here for me.
Yeah, mainly bats. I like Pete Alonso as a nice home run target tonight. Some of the right-handed bats from Minnesota, they're not hitting every day, but they're hitting a lot more than they used to be. So I think the Mets can be a fun one in that ballpark for Jomo. When he's off, it's very, very hittable. Not one of my top options, but I don't mind a little Mets action to be contrarian on this slate. Tampa Bay Rays, Toronto Blue Jays. We're waiting on the Tampa Bay starting option, as that's wide up in the air as usual, but I believe it's going to be Patino. That's the rumor on the street. Luis Patino's getting the call up to get the start, going up against Alex Manoah, who's coming off his suspension. It's like Patino's cheap too. He's very affordable. I wouldn't use him on FanDuel because I don't know if he goes 6 innings or more, which you really need. But he's 6,800 on DK. When you got Patino, you got Manoah at 79 and 77. 2 cheap young arms. Are you buying in tonight?
I would go with Manoah. I'm not going to put Patino out against the Blue Jays lineup. No thanks. And also, didn't you say this is one of the games that has a little bit of a warning for rain?
Yes, this is about 50 to 60% chances. This one could get ugly. Yes.
So I probably won't use either, but if I had to pick one, it would be Manoah. 3 out of his 6 starts have been quality, crazy high K per 9. So decent option here, but I'll stick to bats if I'm buying anybody in this game because of the potential for rain. Simeon, Vlad, Gurriel, Bichette, Grichuk, Springer have all been hitting for Toronto. And then on the Tampa Bay side, if you wanted to pay up for Meadows or Lau, I wouldn't blame you. Choi is a cheap option, 37.27. And then Manny Margot, always cheap, and an option at 33 and 28.
Yeah, Manoah is definitely one of those kind of risk-reward pitching options because we've seen him get blown up when the homers are in trouble. When he limits the home runs, he strikes out a ton, he pitches very well. It's like all or nothing with Manoah so far. I don't mind them going up against Tampa Bay. You can take your chances there for sure. As you said, watch the weather. Bats-wise, these Jays are kind of cold the last couple games. Kind of interesting to see. They could wake up at any moment, though, of course. So if you want to go that way,
last words, right?
Yeah, you can go that way at any moment you want, but I think I prefer that Manoah option if you're going to this game. Hopefully it just rains out, so I don't have to worry about it. That's kind of where I'm at on that one. Chicago White Sox, Detroit Tigers, Lance Lynn, Casey Mize over under 8.5. Lynn's 97 on DK, 10,000 on FanDuel. Casey Mize has been very good, but 9,000 on DK surprised me a ton. He's 81 on FanDuel. I can at least understand that a little more. I want to use Casey Mize, but I'm not using it at $9,000. Lynn, on the other hand, I'm all aboard that train.
So here's why Lynn or Mize, excuse me, is 9,000 on DK is because his 2 starts against the White Sox have both been quality starts. And so he's a decent option today. I think for the price, I'd probably, I'm with you. I'd rather go with Lynn. Lynn has been bad, though. He hasn't been great in June, and his last quality start was actually against Detroit in June on the 3rd. 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 6 strikeouts, 2 walks. So I would rather go with Lynn, but I don't want any bats in this game because this should be a good pitchers matchup here.
Yeah, 100%. Should be a good pitchers matchup. I will say if you think Lynn's kind of struggling, the Tigers are cheap, so they're always that option. But I'm with you. I like both pitchers if you want to go that way. Like, I'm a big Casey Mize fan. I've been using him when he's been cheap for a while now. It's just kind of a sticker shock to get there. But like you said, if he can go throw 6-7 innings again, you're good to go. So I prefer Lynn. Both pitchers very, very much in play on this one. Detroit bats are a value if you need to go there. I will say if you're looking for one White Sox value, he's up to 2,500 now on DK, 26 on FanDuel. Gavin Sheets can hit, folks. So just enjoy that one while you can. Chicago Cubs at the Cincinnati Reds. Alec Mills, Sonny Gray, over under 9.5 in Great American Small Park. Mills is 62 on DK, 6,000 on FanDuel. Gray coming off the IL, 75 on DK, 7,000 on FanDuel. Not sure how deep Gray's going to go. I think he threw like 65 or 70 innings in his rehab, so I'm thinking 85 to 90. At that price point, he's very, very intriguing against like really cold Cubs offense.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you as far as the Cubs, being really cold, but I've said it before. I just don't want to take guys, especially guys that haven't hit 85 to 90 in their rehabs in their first start off of the IL. I'm not going to do it. So I won't go with Gray. Mills, only 4 starts this year. It doesn't go deep enough to be considered. So it's bats in this one. It's Castellanos 4 for 7 against Mills with a double and a homer, 2 for 7 for Barnhart, 2 for 6 with a double for Ian Happ. Baez or Hayward, Votto or India, who just walked off the Reds tonight. I think those are the bats that I'm interested in, but I don't really want either pitcher.
Yeah, love the Reds bats. This one, love the Reds bats. You mentioned Casti. India's on fire right now, so I'm a big fan there. You can also look at Jesse Winker, obviously in Great American Small Park versus a right-handed pitcher is one we love to circle. And then I'm going to mention his name because he got called up the other day, and he had a big boy game on Thursday night, and it's not Jose Garcia. Where the heck did he go? Come on, buddy. Oh, Alejo Lopez.
Lopez. Yeah, I think he was leading all of the minor leagues in hits.
He was, and he went, I think he had 4 for 5 or 5 for 5 on Thursday night. And he's the bare minimum on both sites. So he can just be a pure value if you want him, or a part of a red stack as dirt cheap. I think he's very, very live against Mills and company. All right. Houston Astros at the Cleveland Indians. You got Lance McCullers versus Sam Hinch's over under of 9. Houston finally woke up. Finally. Thanks to an Altuve grand slam. Jordan went deep. Brantley went deep. Things were happening in Cleveland like we knew they finally would. You got McCullers at 9,400 on DK, 96 on FanDuel. Hinch's, pray for the man. Do you want McCullers, or is it all strictly bats here?
I think McCullers is an option. I don't know that I want him, but he's definitely in play today, even at that price, because Cleveland is Cleveland. But if you want to go with Cleveland bats against him, Jose, Bobby Bradley, Ahmed Rosario, Harold Ramirez, all in there. And I would go with the hot guys on the Astros side. Straw still hitting and still cheap, 3,000, 2,700. Alvarez, Carlos Correa, Yuli Gurriel, any of those guys for me.
Yeah, it's another Altuve night. It feels like almost the lefty hinches, but they're all in play, as you mentioned. Build your stacks. Toro was hitting second on Thursday for a little extra value there, but I guess Correa is kind of like the coldest one in the bunch, so he's just due, is the way I see that one. But Jordan's feeling it. Brantley's feeling it. There's a lot to like in Houston. So pick your value spots, pick your stack spots, and enjoy it. I do like how you mentioned, though, Bobby Bradley, Ramirez, both Ramirez's, because like Harold's only 27 on both sides. Bradley's 42 and 32. Jose, you got to pay for, of course. But if McCullers slips up like we've seen this year, he doesn't go too deep into games very often. He only went like 89 pitches last. He hasn't gone 100 pitches in 4 starts. It's been like 5 innings or less more often than not. So it's interesting. He still doesn't get blown up, though. That's the biggest problem with him. So
yeah,
if you want to go Cleveland, I get it. I think there's better chances to be sneaky on this slate. Like maybe this next game, Miami at the Atlanta Braves. We have no odds on that one because we have Pablo Lopez versus Drew Smiley, who's making his return. Lopez is 91 on DK, 95 on FanDuel. Smiley is 67 on DK, 79 on FanDuel. Any interest in these pitchers?
I'm not. I'm stacking both sides of this game. Lopez, 3 of his last 4 have been quality, and that's great and everything, but he's gotten his ass kicked twice by the Braves this year. 7 innings pitched, 10 earned runs, 8 strikeouts, 3 walks against them. So I'm not going to bank on him to all of a sudden snap out of it. So for me, give me bats in this one. Starting Marte, 4 for 9 with 2 doubles against Smiley, 2 for 6 for Jesus Aguilar. And then, other Marlins that are hot. Bertie has been hitting. Duvall, Cooper's been hitting. Jazz Chisholm, Jesus Sanchez is a nice cheap option at 23 on both. And then Atlanta bats are expensive, but you can play him. Ozzie, Freeman, Acuna, pinch ran, so I'd assume he's back in the lineup on Friday. But if he's not, obviously he's too expensive to have in there. Guillermo Heredia is still cheap, 28 and 24 too. So give me bats in this game.
Yeah, I'm with you. Give me the bats in this game. I'll take the Marlins side of this one to save some cash. You mentioned Marte, Garrett Cooper. Cooper's cheap. Chisholm's still too cheap in my mind. You mentioned Jesus Sanchez. You can mix and match even some Birdie and Duvall if you want. I love the value Miami brings to this game. Should be a great hitting environment in Atlanta. Had some fun versus Drew Smiley and an Atlanta bullpen that's been very, very subpar. No problem stacking Atlanta too if you want. Pablo Lopez much better at home than on the road. If I have to pick one side, though, I want that Miami side. Garrett Cooper at 32 is a very, very strong price point for me tonight. Minnesota Twins at the Kansas City Royals. J.A. Happ, Brady Singer in this one. Now we got a total to talk about. Total of 10 in Kansas City. I think both pitchers are out of play tonight. Don't you think so, Bogman?
Yep. Hard pass on either one of those pitchers. So give me some bats here. Max Kepler, 3 for 8 with 2 doubles and a homer against Singer. So all 3 of his hits have gone for extra bases. 3 for 8 for Luis Rise against Singer. And then, Donaldson has been hitting and talking smack to a bunch of people. Nelson Cruz, Simmons, Polanco. And then on the Kansas City side, if you want to go with Cool Whit, still expensive, but still always in play. Michael Taylor, Ryan O'Hearn's been hitting when he's in the lineup, and Nicky Lopez still hitting a little bit too. So those are the bats that I like here.
Yeah, Michael Taylor is a great value. He is on fire right now, hitting over 300 the last 10 games, couple home runs. He's a phenomenal value on this one. Whit Merrifield's on fire. You can obviously go with Salvi at any point in time. So there's a lot to like with this Royals team going up against J.A. Happ. And then the Twins, their bats are getting going. They had a nice series in Chicago, a nice series before that. So if you want to keep jumping on these Twins, you got the value with the lefties and like Kirilloff and Larnack and Kepler, but then you also have the biggies and Donaldson and Cruz. So and even to me, Polanco's cheap if you want to stack. So this could be a game stack. It really could. I know the total's 10, so it screams game stack, but I don't think a lot of people see Kansas City as a potential game stack, and it should be against J.A. Happ, who he might be one of the next ones going. Matt Shoemaker got DFA'd on Thursday. We're slowly seeing some of our favorite stacking options disappear, which happens every year. But J.A. Happ might not be much longer for this world either. St. Louis at Colorado. We head to Coors Field. Johan Oviedo, Chichi Gonzalez, over under 12. Give me all the bats in this one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go with Oviedo or with Chichi. Goldie, 3 for 8 with a bomb against Chichi. And then, If you want to play Carlson, Sosa, you want to go back to Arenado, fine. I like some Rockies bats here too. Tapia, 44 and 37. Trevor Story, Garrett Hampson, Brendan Rodgers, anybody there. Yeah, I'm definitely a stack Colorado or St. Louis.
Yeah, lots of home runs on Thursday night. Should be lots more on Friday night as well. I like Tapia quite a bit. Leading off there, even when he doesn't go yard, he gets on base a few times, makes magic happen. So I like him as a staple point. And then, Hampson, Rodgers, their prices both went up. That stinks, but they're still in play. And the Cardinals are still too cheap. Just too cheap, period. So jump on the stacks as we've been doing in Colorado. It's been a letdown most of the time, but this is one of those where both pitchers are so bad. It better play out. Baltimore at the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Keegan Aiken, Griffin Canning in this one, over under 9.5. Aiken's 5K and 57. Canning is actually pitching tonight, and Canning is a whopping he's cheap. He's 76 on DK, and on FanDuel he is $6,800. So I could see an argument for Canning, I'll be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was Cobb. And I was all ready to go in on Cobb. So if Cobb's pitching tomorrow on Saturday and you're doing that lineup, go with Cobb. But I don't know about Canning. I think I'd just stick to bats here. Give me Mullins, Hayes, Mountcastle, Ramon Urias has been hitting 27 and 22. And then on the Angel side, it's Shohei, Phil Gosselin, Jose Iglesias, David Fletcher. So I'm going to stick to bats and not mess with either pitcher.
Yeah, that Gosselin could be a nice value. He's heating up again. He was streaking earlier in this year, kind of disappeared. He could be fun. There's always Shohei time. But I like the O's. If you're not using Griffin Canning, keep running Cedric Mullins while he's cheap. Mountcastle's hitting everything right now. You always got Trey Boo and company, but if my two top ones would be Mullins and Mountcastle, and stack them up. They had a big series in Houston. Wouldn't be shocked if they kept it going right down the road from Disneyland. So have some fun with the Orioles on a nice low-owned stack this evening. Couple more games before we wrap it up here. Boston at Oakland. Eduardo Rodriguez, Frankie Montas, over under 8.5. You got Rodriguez 74 on both sites. Montas 81 and 8,000. Now hear me out, Bogman. I think both pitchers are very much in play on this one.
Okay, I'll roll the dice with Erod, but Montas to me is too much of a landmine, so I'm not going to mess with Montas. But I'll go with you on Erod. 2 quality starts in a row could finally be worth it. There is a little PV. Okay, you look. Sell me on Montas because I'll ride with Erod, but you can sell me on Montas.
The only thing with Montas is it's very boom or bust. Like I like Erod a lot better. I've been preaching that he's due for some positive regression. It's slowly coming. Montas, we've seen the goods and the bads. So that's the thing with him is he could come out there and throw 7 shutout and strike out 8, and it is what it is. Or he can just get absolutely destroyed. Boston going across country and really outside of blowing up at the Royals has been kind of quiet of late. So I think Montas is a play. I'd rather have Erod though as well.
Yeah, so I'm going to stick with Erod. There is a little PVB data against him. Elvis Andrus 4 for 9 with 2 doubles, 4 for 10 for Chapman against him with 3 doubles, and then 4 for 13 for Pinder with a double and a bomb against Erod. Danny Santana, or that's against Montas too, 4 for 7 with a double and a triple. JD Martinez, 2 for 6. With a double against Montas. Then Renfroe, Bogarts, Vasquez, Devers have all been hot. Jed Lowry, I'll throw him in there as an option for the A's bats too. But Erod for me, which makes me off of Oakland bats for the most part. So, and you're probably off of most bats in this game, huh?
Yeah, I'm off of most bats. I just think it's either a pitching duel or it's just low enough scoring that on a 14-game slate, it's not going to win me a tournament. So that's kind of where I just feel like it's not I could be wrong because these offenses are very good. Something about being an Oko with those 2 pitchers, I don't see a big blow up happening, but we shall see. I'm just glad you're on the Erod train. People are starting to slowly join the fun.
I've always liked him. He just hadn't been putting it together this year until his last 2 starts.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun second half of the season for Erod. Let's go to the desert. Alex Wood, Mr. Zach Gallen on this one, over under 8.5. Wood is 85 and 83. Gallen's 88 and 75. Again, I can see arguments for both guys. I'm just hesitant to use both of them, but I could see arguments.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not going to use either one of them, but especially Wood, he hasn't been great lately. But his last quality start was against the Diamondbacks. 6 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 7 strikeouts, 1 walk. Of course, you could say that probably about 50% of the pitchers in the league, their last quality start was against the D-backs. Gallen was up to 84 pitches the last time out, but they're babying him because he's already had 2 IL stints this year. So I'm just not ready. Let's see him throw 100. Once he breaks that 100 mark, I'll be more than happy to start throwing him out in my DFS lineups. But until then, I'm not going to do it. Nick Ahmed, 5 for 19 with a double and 2 bombs against Wood. 3 for 9 for Yastrzemski against Gallen with a double. And then Rojas has been hitting. Walker, Escobar, Josh Reddick went yard on Thursday night. Asdrubal Cabrera hitting a little bit. And then Lamonte Wade and Wilmer Flores. Those are the bats that I'm interested in this one.
Yeah, I like going back to the Giants on this one. We got some home runs, didn't put it all together, but if they're going to baby Gallen, that means a lot of Arizona bullpen, and I'm all about that life. So I'll go back to the Giants as a little late night action against Gallen. Excuse me. Start with Yaz and Flores, then coming back with Wade and Crawford and company. So definitely on page with that one. Last game of the night, Texas at Seattle. Kyle Gibson, Logan Gilbert, over under of 8. Gibson 78 on DK, 84 on FanDuel. Gilbert 66 and 72. I like both these guys. I don't really like any bat. I like both these pitchers quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, Gibson, 12 of his 15 starts have been quality. Great option against Seattle, of course. Gilbert, I'm not really interested in Gilbert. He is cheap, 66 and 72, and it is a good matchup against Texas. I just think in a bigger slate, I'm not going to go to him. If this was a smaller, like the 7-game slate that we had yesterday, he'd be one of my favorite options. I'm just not going to mess with him. I'm going to go with some more short things. But, it makes me kind of off on bats in this game overall. I mean, maybe I would take Gallo since he's on such a heater, 39 and 36. And they did just put up 10 runs or whatever today, the Rangers did. But I think for the most part, I'm just going to stick with Gibson.
Yeah, I like both pitchers. Gilbert's like the cheapest pitcher I'd go to on DK at 66, so I'm on board with that. The only bat I do like is Joey Gallo. You ride him as long as you can when he's this hot. You just take it, you enjoy it. He's got, I think, it's like 7 homers in his last 6 games or something. It's ridiculous what he's doing. So go with Joseph Gallo. No issues with that at all. Recapping things real quick, Bogman, who is your top pitchers on this slate?
For this, I like Scherzer's probably still my favorite. I like Lynn, McCullers, Brubaker, Erod, Manoah, and Mize. Those are the pitchers that's the group that I would pick from today.
Yeah, Scherzer and Lynn for me up top. In the middle, it's more like Kyle Gibson, Erod, and then Brubaker and Gilbert for me. So we're pretty much on the same page there. Who are you looking to stack up in this one?
Houston against Cleveland, Miami, Cincinnati. I think you can still, even though they're cold, I just like a Toronto stack against Patino. Minnesota against Singer, St. Louis against Chichi, probably my favorite one, St. Louis, and Baltimore against Canning.
Yeah, for me, Cincinnati, Houston, check the boxes for sure. Then Miami, I think you go St. Louis or Colorado. I agree St. Louis is better in that one, but that Minnesota-Kansas City game could be a nice little stack also. And then Baltimore as well. Those could be the ones I'd have circles. But most importantly, what everyone's here for, but after they give a rate and review on iTunes, like we'd appreciate, or they go to the LineStar YouTube page and give the thumbs up and the like button, then you go follow LineStar on Twitter at LineStar app and at LineStar MLB because they tweet out the home run calls of the day. Bogman, myself, Ryan Humphreys give out home run calls. And if you retweet it, 3 lucky retweeters will get paired with each of us. And if a home run goes out from us, you get some free swag. Lots of people got some free swag in June. We're 0 for 1 in the month of July, Bogman. But going into July 2nd, Friday, July 2nd, who is your home run call of the day?
When I reset after a couple days of not getting one, I go back to my old favorite player, Paul Goldschmidt, against the Rockies in Colorado. Easy pick. Give me Goldie.
I so thought you were going with Kyle Schwarber, your new favorite player. That's right. I thought you were going with that one, but I get it. Goldie's a smart pick. I'm going to go to Great American Small Park. I'm going to go with Alec Mills on the mound. I'm going to go with Jesse Winker going deep in Great American Small Park. So you got Goldie. I got Winker. That sounds like 2 home runs that are going to happen. Humphreys will pick a third. We're going 3-peat on a Friday to head into the holiday weekend.
Do it.
Into the holiday weekend. So make that happen, everybody. Have a safe 4th of July. We'll be back with you guys on Monday the 5th. So we hope there's enough of you still listening because you weren't too crazy on the 4th. But enjoy yourselves, enjoy your Friday slate, and have a great weekend. We'll see you guys later.
Take it easy. Have a great 4th, everybody.
Thank you for listening to the LineStar app On Deck podcast. Download LineStar app from the App Store or go to linestarapp.com for all your DFS baseball needs. If you love the On Deck podcast, support KC, Bubba, and Bogman by rating and subscribing. Good luck.